Yo, what is up guys, it's FullySpaced here, and today I will be showing you how to make this simple fishing hut. It's really cool medieval style fishing hut. It's so simple and easy to make, and I hope you guys really like it. To be honest, the inside of it is absolutely my favourite thing about it. You can fit all your barrels with your fish in it, and it's so simple and effective, and it just looks really good in my opinion. It will definitely suit a little medieval style village. So if you guys want to know how to learn to make this, stick around. And let's just finish the cinematic and hop over to my build world. Welcome to my build world. As you can see on the floor here, we have the foundation for the fish hut and the stairs along with it. This build is a 7x7 wide square which has one grass block in between every oak log or oak wood. So as you can see on screen now, I'm counting the logs, and I'm just going to go around and show the width and length of the square itself and how I build it. So I'm talking over this video right now as the audio was terrible. So anyway, you want to build up by 3 blocks all the way around on this. Once you've built up by 3 blocks, you want to connect them all using another oak log to look like it's going into each other. Then you will have a nice little foundation. Then you want to build up your stairs. This is your railing for the stairs that you will be using fences to hold together. But as you can see, it's already starting to take shape. Next up, I started using the stairs to create the staircase and just give it a bit more detail to the build. Obviously, starting with an entrance is always a good place to start, so you know where to come in and where you're going to place things. So I just sorted out the staircase before I started on the actual build. I continue to expand the logs on the stairs and then place fences on them just to get the right height. The first log is 3, the first set of logs is 3 high, the next is 4, and the one after that is 5. I just added fences in between. Didn't want to put the fences on top because I feel like it didn't quite give the feature that I wanted, and it just kind of looked a bit odd to me. So I just looked around at that and thought I'd change that. So anyway, I continued up the stairs and built the back of the staircase just so you couldn't fall off of it. I played around with some stairs just to give it a bit more detail. Once I was happy with that, I decided to get some birch planks and start making the floor of the fish hut. But first I expanded these poles. Once I expanded them, I then went round to getting to the floor, which I actually thought I did first. But never mind, it really doesn't matter what order you do this. I knocked out 2 bits of the 2 oak logs stands just so I could find my next path where I was going to make the little bridge to fish on. I then knocked out one of those and added another log plank slightly closer just to give the doorway a 2 wide doorway even instead of 3. 3 would look awkward, and having the pillar not on top of the other one does kind of look a bit odd and may destroy your OCD, but you have to deal with that, I guess. I placed another oak log on the bottom just to make the support look better and give it more structure. I then went around and placed spruce stairs in each hole just to give it a bit more detail. I then started doing stripped oak logs on the side, as I feel like giving stripped oak logs instead of using completely dark colours constantly will definitely give it more vibrance and colour to the build. I started playing around with it and just decided to keep the simple 3 high oak wood, 3 high strip wood. At this point you can see I was playing around with the roof and realised that it's not actually going to work. I need to take it up one more. So I went and referred to my previous build and then built it up by 1. Once I'd built it up by 1, I went around and used an oak log again, just to make it cross and look like it's all stable and held together as one. Just wanted the frame to be all connected. I next went along with the stairs, just to give it a bit more detail on the edge, and then added an upside down stair underneath that step, just purely for more detail on the build. Then placing some spruce trapdoors on top, just to essentially give it more detail instead of leaving stairs there, otherwise it looks quite boring. The spruce trapdoors can just be used either laying down or flipped up. I prefer them laying down, however you can play around with those. I then placed in the glass panes. After placing all them in, I decided to actually remove some, because having a whole glass building doesn't look quite old. It looks a bit more modern, although it's made of wood. Having too much glass probably doesn't suit the build, so I removed some and replaced them with the stripped oak. Based on the way I place the windows will actually affect how much storage I will have later on. You will see this. I placed spruce stairs at the bottom of each log, and that just separates all my loot essentially. I can place barrels between those and give off a bit more detail, and adding the spruce stairs to the bottom of the log also hides the log and gives it some more detail. Everything is about detailing in this build, just making everything simple and effective. I next went on to using the simple roof design. I went around all the way around 2 layers, I believe, with just stairs and then 1 spruce block up, and continued with the staircase. You will see this now. So I finished the first layer, I start the second layer of spruce stairs, and then I believe I got a spruce plank and actually went up by 1 just to make the roof slightly taller, whereas if I kept going with spruce stairs it would look way too simple and just look like maybe a complete noob or someone who's not particularly great at building has built it. Just giving it that little extra lift definitely provides a bit more detail and just makes the roof itself look a lot better than having just a basic stair roof that's going all the way around. Once I've done that, I place a glass block in the top just to make it as a little sunroof. I then got a trapdoor, placed it on the glass just to make it so you can open and close. I then went around it with spruce stairs just to give more detail to the inside of the building instead of making it look plain and blocky. I wanted just to give it more of a contrast difference of style. Instead of just being completely square inside, I wanted to give it a bit more detail. The word detail is being used a lot here. Everything is literally detail. I did it there. Once I'd done this, I decided to get a lantern just to lighten up the room a bit as it was completely dark. Playing around with where you want to place your lanterns is always something you can do yourself. I just decided to place it on top of a barrel, as it doesn't really matter too much where you place them. I then placed item frames on the barrels, and you can essentially sort these by fish if you really want to. However, I didn't get around to doing that until the end of the build, because that's more of an end build thing to do. You always want to finish your builds before you start doing the inside, really. If you're building it in survival, then you might want to do stuff inside, depending on if you have the materials to build it now or build it later. If you have the materials to build it now, I recommend getting it done straight away. So I decided to get spruce planks, spruce slabs even, and start building the little dock stand area. I don't actually know what they're called. Just the little things you stand on you can go fish out onto. So I actually made these with one row of spruce slabs, then a spruce staircase, and then added the spruce slabs to the staircase, just to make it look like it goes down by one. Then I added oak logs up next to it, just to look like they were support beams, holding the little beam, holding the little platform together even. Then I added one in between the little drop, just made it one higher. I added an extended bit of slabs just so I could add these trapdoors to give it a little bit of barrier. You didn't actually have to have this little barrier, but I just thought it was a cool addition. I then placed spruce trapdoors on top and 2 lanterns outside, just to give it a bit more detail. I added a barrel as well to store all your items once you've caught fish off of your fishing area. From the outside you can already see this build has taken like a pretty good shape already. So I went round and added spruce trapdoors to the bottom just to give it more, make it look more stable. Like if it's in water it looks a lot better because it looks like they are there to support the beams and hold them up and protect against water smashing against them. It definitely does make the build look a lot more sturdy as the bottom is a lot thicker. So I'm just looking around the building now for more things to add to it. You can actually add spruce trapdoors on top of these if you don't want to look at the logs. As you can tell, I really like spruce trapdoors. Such a great addition. I mean, it's such a good item. So I wanted to add a little shelving unit inside. This is the thing I was talking about, as where you place your windows is where you can put your shelves. If you don't mind your windows being slightly blocked, then you can place the shelf in front of it. However, I didn't want to block my windows, so I just placed the slabs and the barrels in the middle here, just so no windows were blocked. On the other side, when I turn around, you'll be able to see that I've done the complete opposite on the other side, and I actually have more room to store things. As I can store 4 barrels up here because I only have 1 window. On the other side I can actually only store 3. I decided to take out some of these oak logs and replace them with the stairs just for a bit more detail. However, you can't really see them anyway, so it's not a huge thing to change. As you can see, this is pretty much the inside sorted. I actually did add a crafting table and furnace later on and replaced 2 of the barrels on the bottom layer just so I could have my basic necessities inside. I started playing around with placing the furnaces and crafting table first, as in my previous build, the one at the start of the video, you will see that I had a crafting table and furnace in the sky, or up in the ceiling. However, in this build I decided to place them down on the ground, as my platform to fish on was actually at different angles in this one, which gave it a different shape. Wherever your platform to fish it from is how you can shape your building. So the shape will always be different depending on where you're fishing from. So just take that into consideration. I then started playing around with this doorway because I thought it looked a bit plain. I then gave up with that idea pretty quick. I decided to add some spruce stairs instead of the log coming across. I also had a lantern but realised I already have a lot, so what's the point in adding more? And I did actually remove that. Everything's just trying experimenting in this build. Just when you're playing the game, experimenting with what things go where will actually determine how good your build will look. You can always find cool and new stuff to the build itself just by playing around with things like changing spruce stairs and spruce trapdoors, or changing something to another item. It just really gives that chance of you finding something new, and it could actually be really cool. So I actually went back to refer at my previous build at this point because I thought it was finished. I realised I've missed the roof. The roof is a pretty key part to this, just to make it the extra better. Obviously you might be able to see in this video, if I include it, that the original build of this was actually really basic and didn't have any shelving units. I headed over to my build, placed spruce slabs on top here, just to give it a bit of a lift so there was a bit more detail to the roof. Watching this back, I just realised I have missed a spruce slab in the middle there. So that's something to take note of. Do not mess up like I did. I went inside and added some fish to the frames, just so you could see where I was storing everything inside the building and make it look more like a fishing hut. As you can see, I went and added the fish to the top shelf. On this bottom shelf, I removed the items frames because I didn't actually know what to put in them, and the item frames just don't look very nice if they don't have anything on them. I added a spruce trapdoor here just for a bit of detail, as there was quite a big gap just sitting there. At this point, I'm pretty sure I finished the build, and yeah, I think it looks really good, especially when I put it into a real world. It actually looked amazing. So hope you guys enjoyed this design. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe for more, and I'll bring you more Minecraft videos soon. Peace. For those of you stuck around to the end of the video, this is just a little sneak peek of the one I built in my actual build world, my non-flat build world, and I just wanted to show you guys the inside, so I hope you enjoy.